descending order. Do you guys want me to do it 1 to 10 or 10 to 1? Write 1-10 for 1 to 10 and 10-1 for 10 to 1. Which would you prefer me to reveal it? What order? 10 to 1. Okay, unanimous 10 to 1. Yeah, that's what I was going to do. I just wanted to check. Alright, let's get into it then. Actually, I've got to bring up my list 1 sec, just to make sure I don't bean this. I wrote it down. Let me just check I've got that. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll reveal my... What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the first 7, like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and then I'll reveal my honorable mentions, and then I'll do 3, 2, 1. That's what I'll do. Hopefully I'll remember to do it in that order. Okay. So my number 10 player for RLCS is actually going to be a certain... Hold on, where is he? Where's this chat window? I'm supposed to be typing it in. Here it is. Yeah, my number 10 is going to be Turbo. Yeah, you guys liking the advert, by the way? Sponsored. Yeah, my number 10 is going to be Turbo Pulsa. You guys, where do you guys have him at? You had him at number 7. So I've got him lower. And that is because the grand final was... I think it was not as bad for him as it was for one of his other teammates, but it was still much worse than we're used to seeing from him. But, you know, that was 2 best of 7s in a row that were very bad for your normal Turbo Pulsa performance. Like, below his standard by a mile. Now, Turbo Pulsa's usual standard is so high that below his normal standard for a mile is still a top 10 player at LAN. That's the way that I look at this. So I think Turbo Pulsa squeezes in at top 10. I think he played definitely well enough to be a top 10 player at LAN, in my opinion. But that's just about as well as he did play. In the previous series to the final, he did play very well. I really thought he did well against... What are they called? It was the Weedem... Yeah, I think it was the Weedem Girls series that I was impressed with him in. I wrote all this down. Let me just check. Yeah, Weedem Girls. Turbo annihilated Weedem Girls. But the 2 series before that, he took a bit more of a back seat. Particularly the series versus Flipside. We didn't see much of Turbo in that one. So yeah, I've got Turbo at number 10. Still very, very solid. Let me fast forward this to some more gameplay for you guys in the background. We've just got the grand final here. On in the back. I think this is a replay. Yeah, it's just about to get started. That game. But yeah, let me just reveal my number 9 now. Number 9 for this one. Let me just check and make sure I do this right, in the right order. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yes, okay. Figured it out. Yeah, my number 9 for LAN Vegas is actually going to be Chicago from Evil Geniuses. Just edging out Turbo because Chicago, like, he hard carried. This guy was insane. What's up with the alerts? I don't know what happened. Did something break? Sorry if something broke. I don't know what happened. But yeah, Chicago, you guys didn't put him on your list. I've got him on mine. Like, he didn't... I don't think he appeared... Oh no, he was actually in a few of the... He was getting a lot of votes, but he didn't get voted in his top 10. Chicago was nuts to this LAN. He played very, very well. I think the 6th place was just about as good as this team could have hoped for. I think they might not have actually been this in a top... I don't think EG were a top 6 team at this LAN. I think NRG would probably have beaten them, even though NRG didn't play as well as we're used to seeing from them. I think NRG would probably still have beaten EG if they got matched up. And the Tinted Minds series could have gone either way. PSG series could have gone either way. I think Chicago was, for me, by far the best player on that team. What goal by Gimmick, huh? Nuts. So yeah, he's like one to watch. You know, if teams like G2 and NRG, even maybe that's all about it. If teams like, you know, G2 and NRG aren't taking a look at Chicago and thinking long and hard about whether or not he could be a good replacement for one of their players after how badly RLCS went for both of them this time, then I don't know what they're doing. But yeah, they should definitely be taking a long hard look at Chicago, thinking, should we try and slot him in here? Because he could be very good. NRG, of course, I wouldn't want to see. They're not going to be doing that until after E-League. They qualify for E-League. G2, however, did not qualify for E-League. And that's why, at this point, I want to ask Coach Chat a question. I'm going to pause my top 10 to ask you guys. Firstly, I've got 2 questions for you. Can you press 1 in chat if you think G2 should replace somebody with Chicago? If they just could do it if they wanted to. Press 1 if you think they should. We'll pretend that they can if they want to. So yeah, everybody in chat apparently thinks that they should. That, you know, if they could just have the magic button that steals Chicago from EG. A lot of people in chat think yes. Press 2 if you think they shouldn't. Like, they have a magic button, right? G2 owners have a magic button and they can push it and they steal Chicago from Evil Geniuses, but they have to replace someone in their starting lineup with him. Should they do it? They can't put him on sub. This button only works if they kick a starter. It's actually pretty torn. I saw a lot of ones though. Yeah, who do you think they should who should they replace? Let's see who do you guys think they should replace then? Machiavelli the Don 9397, thanks for 3 months of Prime, and Oliver 22922, thanks for the 9 months of Prime. Lines, thanks for the 10 months of Tier 1. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, it looks like, I mean, visually that looked like mostly Crow to me. So yeah, I mean, Chicago was a beast this line. He was absolutely insane. I'd love to see what he could do on a world-class team, because, you know, EG, they had another great run. I honestly would look at the last 2 RLCSs that EG have had and think they've done well. Like top 6, they've done well to get this with their lineup. They've done really, really well. They've like achieved the potential, you know. So congrats to them. All right, number 8 for me. Number 8 for me. Wait a second, let me just get my document up, make sure I'm doing this right. Where did you guys put this guy? Ah, interesting. Okay. Very interesting. Yeah, okay, I'll reveal my number 8. I just wanted to see. Okay, you guys didn't have this guy, but I've actually got Chaussette 45 at number 8. Yeah, I just had to check. You guys don't have him. So I got Chaussette from PSG in my top 10. This was not a difficult decision. As soon as I thought top 10 from RLCS LAN Vegas, and as soon as I decided to do this, Chaussette, I already knew he was going to be in here. He was so good at RLCS LAN Vegas. Just to give like some numbers for you guys to consider in case you don't believe me. His points per game in the series that they won against G2, his average points per game were 420 on the dot. Average. I rest my case. Okay, number 7. His average points per game when they knocked out G2 are 420 on the dot. At least I did that calculation myself. I'm pretty sure that's true. Maybe I could find that just to show you, in case you don't believe me. Nah, besides that though, I mean, that's obviously not a good enough reason to put him top 10. No, definitely not 8th, but for real though, he was insane. Post-match, if I search post-match discussion on the Rocket League esports subreddit, yeah, here we go, PSG versus G2. We scroll down here, and I'm pretty sure, where is it? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let me just show you guys this one. This is amazing. I couldn't believe it when I saw this. I've got to minimize this actually first of all, and then I'll put this into the same window. There we go. Do you guys see that? Oh wait, maybe this number here. Hold on. I'm gonna try and move it into a position that you guys can actually see the relevant number. Now, besides being like amazing that he managed to get average points per game, or score per game is points per game, on average 420. Besides that being absolutely hilarious, that is incredible. That's outrageously high. Like very, very, very high. So Yeah.
This RLCS
Chaussette
was nuts.
Chaussette was pretty nuts at this RLCS. He wasn't just good that series though, by the way. He was, you know, I think his first series of the day, or first series of the event was pretty average. Second series against G2, he was insane. And then even the series where they got eliminated by EG, Chaussette was popping off. He was insane. Maybe best player on the field, in fact. It was obviously between him and Chicago for that. And I think I would honestly say Chaussette played better than Chicago in that series, even though Chicago and co were able to win. The reason I think Chicago and the gang were able to take that one down is because Corrupted G also played a fantastic series in that one. That's why I think, even though Chaussette I think played better overall than Chicago did, they didn't make it as far. It's because Corrupted G really showed up when it mattered. When Chaussette and Chicago went matched up against each other, Corrupted G was popping off. Alright, my number 7 for this one is going to be... Let me just make sure that I got this right. I'm going to go back to my list. My list document. Yeah, okay, I do. Yeah, my number 7 is Drippe. So you guys are really close to me on this one, actually. I think that this is the closest one that we're going to have. I had Drippe number 7, so you guys actually agree with me almost exactly here. Yeah, Drippe was nuts. Best OCE player to play the game. Absolutely world-class player. I think I had him at number 13 or so going into the LAN. He's gone up in my estimation after this LAN. He was just as good as he's ever been and better. You know, even in the series that, what do you call him, that Chiefs lost to Cloud9 on the final day of the LAN, right before Cloud9 went on to clap Weedham Girls and Dignitas, Drippe was like going toe-to-toe with Cloud9. He was absolutely nuts, even in that series that they lost. And in that series he didn't get as much help from his teammates as he had previously in the tournament. I think actually the series that they won before or actually, you know, a lot of the series that they played before that, Kami was really playing very well also, and Tarsos wasn't too bad. I would say Kami really showed up, though. I was impressed with Kami. But honestly, Drippe versus Cloud9, he was like up there, just as good as anyone else, or just as good as any of the Cloud9 players in that field, I would say. That's why I've got my number 7. Should Drippe move to NA? You know, if teams like NRG, teams like G2, who had disappointing LANs, were to look at other teams in the world or other players in the world and think who could we get that would be better than someone on our team, like Drippe he's got to be in that conversation, right? Because the OCE players, they don't get much in the way of salary, and if it was feasible to get like a working visa for a player from another region to go and play for a team like G2 or NRG, I think like a player like Drippe's got to look at that as a really serious offer, right? Like Drippe's nuts. I think I'd be so curious to see how he would do, you know, playing with you know, players at the Cloud9, G2 and NRG caliber on his team, and that experience as well. We've already talked about this list already. Fruity, yeah, we did. I mean, me and you did, but I didn't tell my stream, did I? I don't think I did. But yeah, alright, I'm gonna move on to number 6. Wait, let me just make sure I got this right. Let me just make sure I got this one right. Yeah, okay, there we go. I just had to check real quick. My number 6 is, let me see if you guys are pretty close to my one on this as well. I've actually got K-Dop number 6 for this one. Very close. So this is the first time that I've put 2 players from the same team on the list, and it is not for the final 2 series of the day. I will say, however, that I think K-Dop was probably the player who played most like his usual self in the grand final against Cloud9, the double, you know, bracket reset 4-1-4-1 that they got beaten in. I think K-Dop looked the most K-Dop-ish in that series. He looked more like K-Dop than Turbo looked like Turbo, and he definitely looked a lot more like K-Dop than Panda looked like Panda. So that's why I've got K-Dop up here. But even earlier in the tournament, K-Dop really showed up against Flipside and against EG, which EG turned out to be a tight series, so they needed K-Dop at his best in that series. So he definitely deserves to be top 6, I think. But one thing I want to say though about K-Dop, the reason I think he looked the most normal and he didn't look completely off is because K-Dop's never actually been the most consistent player in defense. He does do a few like weird defensive touches every now and then. You don't see that too often though, because when's the last time that you remember Dignitas being shoved back into defense for a whole series? You guys who only see them dominating LANs might not actually know what that looks like. But online, sometimes there's like competitions where Dignitas are defending. That's when you see Turbo and Panda usually a lot more involved. It's just whenever they're attacking, K-Dop is world class because he's just banging shots in the top corner. Yeah, K-Dop too busy getting swole. Thank you, Tetrarax, for that very good analysis on his lower position than we're used to seeing. Tetman TV, thanks for 9 months of Prime, by the way. And Skipboy183, thanks for the 8 months of Prime. I think I've caught up with all the alerts, but if I forgot yours, I apologize. Alright, my number 5 player for LAN. You guys didn't have him in your list. I've actually got Yukio up here. I was very, very impressed with Yukio. You guys have got to remember this is a debut LAN, or debut RLCS LAN for him. And he still put up some really good performances. I was particularly impressed with how well he did in both of the series that they lost. The series where Flipside lost are the two that impressed me the most about Yukio. Yeah, nice emote. Very nice, Fruity. Very, very nice. Did I actually... I swear, like... yeah, Fruity, you did resub for 3 months. I don't even remember if I said thank you for that, because I was just like, I answered your question in chat, and I thought that registered part of my brain, but thank you for the 3 months, dude. But no, Yukio was very, very good, and I don't think he choked against Cloud9 at all. No, I think... overall, as a looking at that series as a whole, I think Yukio was largely very impressive against Cloud9. He didn't play a perfect series. I don't think anybody in that series played perfectly. You got to remember, on final day, Flipside were the team that came closest to beating Cloud9. Cloud9 then went on after that series to destroy Chiefs and Weedham Girls and Dignitas. Flipside did the best against Cloud9 on the final day, and Yukio is their best player, I think, by far. And even before that, he played very well to help knock out what are they called? Why am I like blanking on so many names today? They knocked out G2. I was impressed with Yukio in that series. But yeah, no. See, like the distribution of this. I will say that when I went to make this list, number 1, 2, and 3 were all miles ahead of everybody else. No points for guessing who they are. But number 1, 2, 3 were miles ahead of everybody else. Number 4 was easy peasy, never changing number 4. Number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I could honestly see like those guys getting reordered. You could tell me Yukio number 10, Turbo number 4, and I'm sure there's a good argument for that. I think that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 were all super close. Number 4 was a step above. He was the most impressive player that wasn't Cloud9 player. Yeah, no points for guessing. All the Cloud9 players are top 3. But that player is actually Remco. I have Remco number 4. I think he was the most impressive player to me by a long way that wasn't in Cloud9. You guys might have a different opinion on that, but that's what I think. So yeah, who did you get? You guys had Remco at 8. You had him behind Metsonoris, his teammate, who you guys put at 5. Now, I think Metsa gets a lot of love at the LAN because everybody loves chanting his name, and he looks so cheeky when everybody does chant his name, and he just looks over smiling. I think that translates into people thinking he like played better than he did. Like, Metsa had a absolutely horrendous series versus Cloud9 and versus Dignitas as well. All over the place. Now, the series before that, the two that they won against Chiefs and before that against Cloud9 in the first series, I thought Metsa was fine. Thought everybody on what do you call them? On Weedham Girls played pretty well. I expected a bit more from Ignite because Ignite is a beast. I thought he was going to show up a little bit more since this isn't his debut LAN anymore. I think he'll be disappointed with how he played. I think he could play better. But yeah, Remco is the standout player for me. When they were like losing to what are they called? When they were losing, when they were losing to Dignitas, I thought like the combo Ignite to Remco was working really well. Remco was finishing everything. Ignite was creating chances, and Metsa wasn't really doing much. Like Metsa, look at this goal by the way. If you didn't see this already, everybody's probably seen that though. But yeah, Metsa really dropped the ball in that series versus Dignitas, and then in the final, Remco was really the only person. Or the last game versus Cloud9, Remco was really the only player that showed up. I was super impressed with Remco though. Overall this LAN, taking down Chiefs who finished 4th. and Cloud9 in the winner's bracket, who actually went on to win the whole thing. So yeah, Remco was an easy choice for number 4 for me. Super easy. Like, I didn't have to think about that one at all. I had to think a lot about the order of 1, 2, 3. Did not have to think at all about number 4. Number 4 was a piece of cake. Then number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I could order that in any single way, and I could probably come up with a good reason for putting players in the positions I would end up, or they end up. Alright. Before we do the top 3, so yeah, obviously all the Cloud9 players are top 3. Which isn't, I wouldn't have said that for any other LAN, by the way. LAN 1, which I by Power won, I would have put Cuxer top 3 and he didn't win. At LAN number 2, I could probably see putting Devo top 3 even though he didn't win, although that's difficult because Greasy, Cux and Marky did play very well. But you could make a great case for Devo being top 3 even though he didn't win. LAN number 3, you could make a great case for Fairy Peak being top 3 even though he didn't win. Even K-Dop. LAN number 4, Magnus was fantastic even though he didn't play for the winning team. You could probably put him top 3. What do you call it? LAN number 5, obviously Justin Fireburn and Garrett, they all played fantastically as well. So you could definitely like have a non-winner in your top 3. But I don't think anyone in their right mind can put a team outside of Cloud, or a player outside of Cloud9 in their top 3 and have a good reason for it. I dare you. Somebody come up with a good reason to have a player who didn't play for Cloud9 in your top 3. I don't think there is one. Well, my honorable mentions before we get into the top 3. These are players who just missed out on the top 10 because the overall results weren't as good as other players in the top 10, or because they were kind of overshadowed by another player in their team. And those players are Corrupted G from Evil Geniuses. I think he really showed up in the win over PSG. That was super impressive. And I'm looking forward to seeing more from Corrupted G. I think he was really impressive. Much better than I thought he was going to be. I thought he would do solid, but he went above that. He actually popped off again. So that was sick. Also, Kami from Chiefs. Did not think Kami would do as well as he did. He had great points per game stats from last season, but I figured that was just because it was overall like higher scoring games. But nah, Kami was sick. He looked, at times I couldn't tell who was Drippy and who was Kami, because their cars kind of looked a little bit similar. And when the nameplates weren't on screen, it was like you'd see the way Kami's moving, and I would be like, "Is that Drippy?" No, and then it pops up as Kami. Oh, sick! This could be Drippy number 2, the Drippy in the making for OCE. What a shot by Squishy that was. So yeah, and my last honorable mention who got overshadowed was Fruity. I thought Fruity did great for a debut season, but Chaussette really kind of stole the show for PSG. But yeah, if it weren't for Chaussette popping off so much and carrying, I think Fruity could have maybe snuck into a top 10. If they beat PSG and had another one good series, I think Fruity could have been top 10, but he got a bit overshadowed. All right, 2 more honorable mentions who played very well but got no results. First of those is Rizzo, best player on G2 this LAN. Full stop. He played really well. And I'm very excited about that, because that means going into this off season, because they're not going to be playing E-League, his spot's got to be secured on G2. That's really cool to see. So yeah, Rizzo was fantastic.
Oi.
Better results, like if they'd actually snuck, who are these idiots in the bottom card? Don't look over there, guys. Don't look that way. Yeah, if G2 had managed to sneak a win in either of those series, we would definitely be seeing Rizzo in the top 10. It was just a lack of results. And the other is CJ from Tainted Minds. I think this is the second LAN in a row that CJ's impressed me. This one he was even better than last though. They obviously needed to beat EG to have CJ be top 10 though. I think CJ were just outside because they lost both games, just like G2 did. That's my honorable mentions. Everybody else who I didn't mention and who isn't on the list already, I would put in the bottom half of players at LAN. Of the you guys had just Metza, Cuxer, and Classics. You guys had Metza, Cuxer, and Classics in your top 10. I definitely wouldn't have any of those guys in my top 15. I don't think. Wonder if Cuxer could sneak in there. Maybe Cuxer would be a bit outside. I'd put Cuxer ahead of Metza and Classics.
To never do it. Don't at me.
And I'd definitely put Metza ahead of Classics. That would be my order, my serious order, if I was going down that far. But yeah, I'll reveal top 3 in a second, or my top 3. cheers Guac RL for the 3-month Prime sub, and Orochi for 250 bits. Dapper's the best player to never do it. What do you mean, like, never win? Ignite, he did great. Nah, Ignite was... he had a disappointing LAN by his standards, I think. I think Ignite went in as a top 10 player, and he didn't live up to that. That's just my opinion, though. I think he was okay. Like, Ignite didn't play badly. I don't think he should be afraid of his spot on his team. But I don't think he played top 10 or honorable mention level. Alright. So, who do you guys think I've got at number 3? I've already decided who I've got number 1, 2, 3. But who do you guys think I've got number 1, 2, 3? I would say Ignite played better than Cuxer, by the way. In case anybody's wondering, I would put him, like, definitely top 20.
This RLCS was crazy, I was hype. Happy 4 months, by the way.
Quite J-Man38, thanks for the 4-month Prime. Dingo, thanks for 9 months of Tier 1. Welcome back, you guys. Cheers to 25 bits or 333N. So most of you guys think I've got Gimmick at number 3. I've actually got Squishy at number 3. Now, I could come up with a great argument for any 3 of Cloud9 players being the best player at this tournament. I think I could come up with a good argument for any of them if I wanted to.
Hello, Johnny.
But the way that I decided to do this, when I was thinking, okay, how am I going to decide who the best player for Cloud9 was this tournament? Because this might be the most well-rounded team that we've ever seen win a LAN. Even more well-rounded than when Dignitas were winning LAN. Just because K-Dop hard carried 2 years ago. No, not 1 year ago. And Turbo Heart played really well at the last one. Yeah, this one it was almost impossible to choose between Torment, Gimmick, and Squishy because they were all so good. And the reason I put Squishy number 3 is because he was like the more consistent player, right? Now let me explain this one because that sounds like a really weird reason to put somebody at 3rd. Consistency's got to be good, right? Well, for me, you don't beat Dignitas by being consistent. To beat Dignitas, you need to pop off. You need to surprise them. Nobody's ever going to beat Dignitas just playing their like, you know, A game. You've got to go above that. You've got to go to your S plus game. And Squishy for me was absolutely unbelievable, but I also have him at 3rd because he did exactly what we expect of him. He scored some very nutty goals, but doesn't he always? He scored some very, you know, solid shots and double touches as well. But doesn't he always? You know, what I saw from Squishy was exactly what I expected from Squishy. And that's why I've got him at number 3. By the way, for the record, I think Squishy's the best player on Cloud9. But this is not what I'm ranking right now. Right now I'm ranking who played the best at RLCS in Vegas. I do think Squishy's the best player on that team though. But that's a different story. Alright, who do you guys think I got at number 2? And by the way, I could make a much better argument. See all the people in chat who are saying Squishy was the best player at RLCS Las Vegas? And I'm dumb. I could make a better argument than you can for why he is. But I'm not doing that. I've decided he's 3rd best. But I could still make a better argument for him being the best than you can. Because everybody who's saying Squishy was the best. I'm not even, like, I didn't even think about it. He's the best. Like, yeah. I could tell you didn't think about it. I could come up with a better argument if I wanted to. Right, I've got Gimmick at number 2, guys. I think most of you are right about this, or are right about what I do. And yeah, I've got Gimmick 2nd best. That of course means I've got Torment best. So I'll just bash that one in here, and I'll talk about them both. The reason I've got Torment above Gimmick and also above Squishy is because the first series against Dignitas, Torment broke them. Torment just, I don't know what he did. Do you guys remember is it the end of Avengers where the Hulk just picks up Loki and just smashes him around on the ground as Loki's trying to reason with him? That's in Avengers, right? I'm not the best at remembering which movie. Torment just, I think he just picked up Violent Panda and smashed him into the ground multiple times. As Panda was just like, okay guys, we're gonna go down, or you're gonna go down quick, we'll make it easy, we'll try get this over with as fast as possible, Just sign here. We're just going to take it in the first series this time. No bracket reset. And the tournament just picks him up and smashes him off the ground like 10 times. Panda's just like, what happened? What has happened? And then played the worst series I've ever seen him play in my life. But the Torment just broke Dignitas, honestly. And that's why I have to give him the best player in the LAN. He stepped up so much. I've never seen him play that well. Unbelievable across the board in terms of stats. Not just stats, but like off the ball plays. He like hardly put a foot wrong. The guy was just a brick. Dignitas didn't know what to do with him. And that's never happened to Dignitas before, by the way. Definitely not in LAN. Every other time Dignitas have lost a LAN final, it's been competitive. It's been close. Not this time. Yeah. Torment broke them. And yeah, the reason I had Gimmick at second is actually because he just obliterated. Like, Gimmick just almost single-handedly obliterated Weedham Girls. It was something unreal. That was what kind of gave me hope. When I was watching that series, actually before that series started, I told multiple people, and there's probably people in chat right now who met me, or there might be someone in chat right now who met me at RLCS and LAN Vegas, who I talked to about this, because a lot of people, so many people asked, what do you think is going to happen, Cloud9, Weedham Girls? I was like, well, I kind of hope Cloud9 win, because I think they've got a better chance of beating Dignitas than Weedham Girls do. I just don't see Weedham Girls style beating Dignitas, but I could see Cloud9 catch them off guard if they just, pop off, which they did. And then yeah, Gimmick went and annihilated Weedham Girls. I'm thinking to myself, they could do this. It's unlikely, but it's possible. And then, they went ahead and did it. Throughout that whole time, Squishy played like very, very solid. I think he was their highest points per game across the entire LAN. But a lot of the series earlier than the final two, there are results that you kind of expect, right? Like Squishy after Cloud9 over NRG 3-2. Yeah, I could see that happen. 3-2 over Flipside. Yep, kind of makes sense. 3-0 over Tainted Minds. Yep. Wait, 4-2 over Weedham Girls in dominating fashion? Now hold on a second. This is impressive. Like, that's an impressive result for any team. 4-1 over Dignitas. What on earth just happened? Like, that they're the ones you really need to be looking at. Johnny, you said WTF earlier, but my reasoning wasn't terrible. Thank you for listening. I did think about this. When I first look at any making any top 10 lists, I look at like the stats, and statistically I think Squishy was the best player and the most consistent player. But I think the fact that Gimmick and Torment played insane, like Gimmick especially in the first series against Weedham Girls, and then Torment in the first series, or no, Gimmick in the second series against Weedham Girls, the one they won, and Torment in the first series against Dignitas. That's why I had them two above Squishy. Squishy, I think, was the best player in the second series against Dignitas, but by then it didn't really matter. Dignitas were already beaten. Like, they weren't coming back from that. Panda was way too tilted. He tweeted like earlier in the tournament about crowd booing. I think it was because the crowd booed Dignitas at some point, and he was upset about that, rightfully, because it's they picked a really dumb time to do it. It wasn't funny. It wasn't smart. The timing of the booing from the crowd, and then but that tweet didn't really. That was like, yeah, whatever. But the second tweet, the one that really got me interested from Panda, was he tweeted something like, yeah, by the way, guys, that other tweet that I made about the crowd booing, I didn't do that because I'm annoyed. Like, I'm not annoyed, guys. Not at all annoyed. Do not think that I'm annoyed at the booing. I was just thought I'd bring it up. When I saw that, I was like, oh, he's annoyed. he's so annoyed. He's tilted. Oh, they haven't even lost a series. I think they've been beating everybody, and he's so annoyed. I didn't ask him anything about that, by the way. I didn't. I think I talked to him once. I just said hi. But yeah, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, he is so annoyed. That must have got in his head. So then when the grand final started, and I think Gimmick scored a double touch, and then yeah, Torment was just playing out of his mind. I think the crowd, Panda can probably hear the crowd like cheering, and he just went from bad to worse. It was a disaster. I think just to give you guys an idea, yeah, I don't think Panda scored in the first series. Yeah, it was 4-1 to Cloud9. I think Turbo scored like 3 goals or something, and I think K-Dop scored twice. Yeah, Turbo scored 3 goals. K-Dop scored twice. Panda did not score. Like, Cloud9 obliterated Dignitas. It was insane. I've never seen anything like that. And yeah, you had 162 points per game in the first series, 243 points per game in the second one. Like, that's the lowest I've ever seen. Second series, it was already over. When anyone who was there, when we saw the first series, we were like, man alive, like, Cloud9 are actually going to win this. And then, yeah, on the last, actually, see the last game, Squishy just, like, manhandled this one by himself. But I mean, it didn't matter at this point. It was just like, how are Cloud9 going to choose to win this? Dignitas are beaten. They were just clean whiffing the ball at this point. No, there won't be a show match tonight because my voice is a bit too wrecked. Bit too wrecked to cast. Jesse the fourth. Thoughts and gimmicks: 38% shooting percentage across 38 games at LAN. Oh, that's a pretty cool stat. I like that. Trixari, thanks for 28 months of tier 1, by the way. I just spotted that one. Holy cow. I really appreciate that. Marbles, please. I don't know if I should stream for too long tonight, guys, because I want to, what do you call it? I want to try and preserve my voice as much as possible. I want to preserve my voice. I shouldn't be talking right now at all, really. PGS Control, thanks for the Twitch Prime sub. And Vortex Silent, thanks for 3 months of tier 1. And Alex Gymnast, thank you for the Prime sub as well. Thank you guys for the little sub train there. Yeah, who do you guys think is the most overrated player on my list? Which player in my list do you guys think I put way too high? Let's see you guys critique me now. Turbo. You're just saying that because he's here. Few Yukios. Yeah, Yukio is a tough one. I didn't know where to put Yukio. I was like, to put 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't really know.
Yukio.
I think I was always putting Yukio ahead of what do you call it? I could see Kato being ahead of Yukio. Don't know if I could see Drippe being ahead of Yukio. Maybe. Chaussette probably not. Chicago probably not. Yeah, I guess there's a world where you could put Turbo much higher. And then maybe Kato up ahead of Yukio as well. That's tough though. I think Yukio just played really well in his losses. For a debut LAN, he was absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. A couple of people think Chaussette's too high. I don't know. I think I'm pretty happy with the placement of all the people in my top 10, to be honest. Kami had an awesome LAN. Yeah, I had him in my honorable mentions. I think he just got a bit overshadowed by Drippe, but that's no shame in that. Hiroshi, thanks for 250 bits. You think I put Yukio too high? Yeah, like I maybe could see Kato. The only one I would be perfectly okay putting above him would be Kato. They were kind of like fifth equal for me. But then I remembered, Kato was expected to win this thing. I think Yukio and Kato played this overall LAN about as well as each other. And then I remembered, wait, Kato was supposed to win this. Yukio's a rookie. Yeah, Yukio deserves to be above. That's why I did it. That was my thought process, pretty much. Alright, who do you think I underrated the most in my list then? Yeah, you guys saw Cuxer was the best player on the flip side. I thought Yukio was better, to be honest, for this LAN. I'm going to make these text windows a bit small. A lot of people saying squishy. Oh, what's this? How did that go a different size? Rizzo just sad with the results. Rizzo, if they didn't lose both series, I would have put him in my top 10 based on how well he was playing for sure. There's the flip reset. We'll just let this game play through. I'm sure people are enjoying watching it over again. I know I did the first time I saw it. Second time. Yeah, the Turbo Camp. Turbo, did you guys see this? Like, I want to know what Turbo and Panda are saying to each other right now. I want to get some listening at this moment. And Turbo smashes the desk and Panda's like, yo. And then Turbo's like, get off me, man. I don't know what they're saying, but I definitely want to hear that one over again. Cuffs. Chat is in the way. Oh, was chat in the way? Okay, sorry guys. Oh yeah, it is. Hold on. I gotta move this. I'll just turn it off, to be honest. Bang. Turbo, what happened, man? What happened? We need a turbo smash emote for sure after this. And then Turbo just comes in with a goal. He's like taking. He put his anger in a good place, to be honest. He just like bangs it, or was it? It was Turbo who just bangs in a kickoff goal, right? After Squishy completely beans it. Look at this from Squishy. I don't know if you guys saw this. Like, there's a kickoff. Squishy goes for the kickoff, grabs the boost. Now, Gimmick he went for the back right boost, so he's currently moving into midfield. Squishy's rotating back, and then Squishy's just like, actually, nah, I got this, man. Oh, sorry. Whoops. The Panda just biffs it in. Oh, it was Panda who scored this one. Imagine if Panda if he hit the bar on that open net, it would have like summed up his LAN so well. Yeah, great pass, Squishy fans. It was a really nice pass. Should we watch it again? Just in case you missed it. Squishy played great. Just want to, piss off his fans a little bit. Love that. He's probably like tried to pass to Gimmick, and the Gimmick's like, but I've already got it. I've already got it. Jesse, you would of course love that, wouldn't you? Switching Crow for Leth. Yeah, Lethamir's a very good player. I don't know if he would fit well with JNaps and Rizzo in particular. Oh yeah, Turbo gifted a sub to me. Johnny hates Squishy, confirmed. Nah, I think that you could make a great argument for Torment, Gimmick, or Squishy being the best player from the LAN.
C91,
and actually, I think Squishy's the best player on the team.
For once.
They did actually show emotion, yeah. Oh, when that goal went in, the crowd went nuts, by the way. Let me just mention that right now. Crowd was like so much louder than the stream heard. This crowd was like really loud. I think if you took this crowd and put them in the building where London RLCS 5 was, it would have been just as loud as the London crowd. The only reason it wasn't is because the arena was so big and there's so much fabric everywhere that a lot of the sound kind of got lost. But if you put that crowd in the copper box in London, I think they would have been just as loud as the London crowd. Well, maybe not for the whole LAN, but for the grand final, definitely. The production kind of beamed it a little bit with the crowd mics. How did this LAN shake up your top 10 current players? Not really thought about that. I usually I have to think about that a lot before I come up with a good list. Nice little save by Panda there. Great. This is like my own ranked teammate gameplay about to happen. Woo! He's gone. What was the reaction from the Dig Boys on this one when this happened? Whoops. Yeah, he's just like, yeah, that happened. Awkward. I think they smashed in a kickoff goal after this though, so we're like, oh, maybe it's not over. Maybe it's not over. Gimmick's just like, wait. They're whiffing. We've done it. We've done it. They suck. EU Rocket League Omega lol. You can just see he's like laugh. He's like, whoa, I can't believe this. And then Turbo's like, no, 4 time. Please, 4 time. Corey K720, thanks for the prime sub. Vinich Trunga, thanks for the prime sub as well. Yeah, guys, one other thing I wanted to know, what do you think about the biased crowd and casters? Well, I couldn't hear the casters at all, and I've not rewatched the event, so I have 0 comments on the casters because I couldn't even hear them. Like, the caster audio in the venue was so like quiet compared to the crowd that you couldn't hear them. Oh, this should have been a goal. K-Dop he forgot, right? So see in this position, any normal like team would their third man would just back off and shadow. But what Cloud9 do in this position is they ball chase because they've realized that ball chasing is how you play Rocket League to the highest level. So K-Dop's thinking, alright, I'm 1v1. Gimmick and Torment are rotating back in December. So I'm just going to like start a wee bounce dribble, get nice and close, bang it in the top corner, 4-time turbo pulse up. I think Squishy's like, nah, just kidding, I'm ball chasing. Lol. And then, goodbye, chance. This happens so much when you're playing against Cloud9, by the way. Gimmick does this every single time he challenges. He's just like, YOLO. Actually, Torment did it to eliminate Chiefs. I'm pretty sure that earlier in this tournament, I could find you a moment where Torment eliminates the Chiefs with an epic ball chase. It's such a terrible move. Was it this one? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't the elimination game. I think it was the Manfield game. Yeah. It's got to be this one, right? Cammy's like, oh, nice, I've got a dribble, and then Torment's just like, nah, mate, I'm ball chasing. Look at this. Who does this? He's not even goal side. Oh man, it must feel good to never play ones. Just ram the ball. What is this play? This is so bad. I love it when it just works. It secures them a 2-0 lead. Like, this is hilarious. By all rights, Chiefs should be 1 up by now. Like, look what happens if Cammy flips into the ball to shoot it. Goal for Chiefs. Tie series. Oh yeah, right before this. Oh man. Yeah, people who say, I think Rocket League's at the skill ceiling, mate. Like, no, it's not. But check this out. Squishy's just like going for this. Like, Gimmick with the sickest recovery of all time. I feel like I can, you know, have a good laugh at them because they won the LAN. Sick recovery by Gimmick. Wastes all his boost. Like, in comes Squishy. They're both gone. Those guys they're not coming back. And the Torment's just like comes in from another planet. Where on earth is he coming from? What is this challenge? He just steams in. I couldn't believe this when I saw it. I was like, what a terrible play. Like, the only reason this works is because Cammy's thinking, this guy, I mean, I see him boosting. That's got to be a fake challenge. There's no way he's actually going to challenge me here. Nobody's going to challenge when you're last man back and you're not even goal side. Oh no, that's actually what he's going to do. So great read by Torment is the other way. If I'm casting this game, I'll be like, what a sick read by Torment. Where you predicted the fake. But actually, it's just, I don't know about this one. I don't know about that. Yeah, best goal of the tournament is because Cammy tried to fake. Well, it's because Cammy's thinking this moron's not going to just keep on driving forwards. Who does that? Like, because right now, Cammy can just hold boost and flip into this. So he's trying to like think, okay, Torment knows that I could just boost into this ball and flip. So he's probably going to turn around. In fact, he's actually let go of his boost. So, nah, he just keeps on going though. Yeah. Sick ball chase, mate. 200 IQ, I don't know. I mean, it works, but if that goes, it's a 50-50 pretty much. If it goes the other way, then everybody's going to be thinking, like, what on earth was Torment doing? Well, actually, no, the blame would definitely go on Squishy for leaving him out to dry, like committing so hard to a challenge in the corner while Gimmick's already out of commission. Like, you got to look at, what do you call him? Gotta look at Squishy there mainly, put Torment in an awkward spot. But it only looks good because it worked. It doesn't mean it was a particularly good idea. But yeah, if any like pro team playing against Cloud9, just expect them to ball chase on challenges, even as last man back. Second man, third man, doesn't matter. They're probably ball chasing on challenges. And that's why it keeps working. Nobody sees it coming somehow. They ball chase every challenge.